Hello and welcome back to Cinema Sitdown. Today we watched The Mitchells vs. the Machines, a 2021 film released on Netflix that puts a family road trip into the robot apocalypse. But we'll talk about more of that after the intro. Welcome back. I'm your host, Kayla, and today I'm joined by, whoever wants to go first?
I'm Jordan.
I'm Cheon.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Icarus.
Great. So, as I said in the intro, we watched The Mitchells vs. Machines. It's a movie filled with action, comedy, charm, and above all, quirkiness. Thank you for helping me choose that verb. But I guess first of all, I want to ask initial thoughts. Anyone?
It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I've been really into animation recently. I think learning it in classes, I'm all in. And I remember you talking about this movie last week and thinking like I had never heard anything about it. I didn't know what it looked like, and I didn't want to know until I watched it, and it was so funny. So I feel like we all can relate to it with it being the main character, a film student, a film interest. I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, a little bit like classic cliche, but I'm the person who loves classic cliche. So it was perfect to me, and I loved it. Silly, goofy, but it's fun. So I love that. And the point that she's like filmmaker student, I love that point too.
I think silly goofy is like the best way to describe it, honestly. I love it.
It was really fun. I didn't know what it was going to be, because I had never heard about it before. Just when you sent that's what we were watching, and I did like a quick Goog, and yeah, I mean the description like I feel like doesn't encapsulate. Yeah, it's just kind of a little charming movie about a very relatable story. Again, yeah, to all of us, especially like you know the artists in the family of not artists.
No, I absolutely love this movie. It's so. Yeah, I have thoughts about the word, but it's a very quirky movie. It's very like it doesn't take itself too
I
seriously.
I asked for opinions, and you guys gave me
Yeah.
quirky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, quirky in a positive way, not quirky in like the
Oh, she's so quirky.
definitely the positive quirky, not the bad one.
Yeah.
No, I chose this movie because I think it's fun. I think it's gonna sound weird. I think this is the fourth time I've watched it, maybe fifth.
Yeah.
Because every time I go on Netflix and we're just looking for something random, I'm like, oh hey, here's this movie again.
Yeah.
And there it is. I swear I'm not that obsessed. But I guess kind of what I want to first talk about is we mentioned it being relatable despite the robot apocalypse. There they are.
Not yet.
Not yet. We're not quite
Not yet. We're talking about the family life together and their weird stuff. So like. We mentioned relatability, and also I guess kind of the feeling of leaving for college as well was also there, which I mean, we're all college students, we all kind of feel that. So what are you guys' thoughts on all that?
I mean, yeah, definitely relatable for sure, you know. I went to music school first, so it was like double, like, yeah, you're gonna be an artist, huh? How's that gonna go? That's not very practical. And then yeah, even more so when I was like, JK, not music, but video. So yeah, there was definitely a little like that, especially like I see a lot of my dad in the dad character, and like just how much we clash, and like just while I say like, oh, you know, I just want to get away from my family, like I'm always seeking their approval, like the main character Katie was, like deep down she just wanted to feel like she had someone there who looked at her and appreciated what she did. So definitely relate to that part. Ouch, oof, family problems. That's what we talk about here on Cinema Sit Down. But no, yeah, definitely.
I was a little bit shocked when the father canceled the flight. I was like, no way, no way. What if? So I was like, what if it happened to me? I was on the day of my flight to come to the States, and my father canceled my flight. I would rather die.
Yeah.
It's such a big thing, and it cannot be happened.
Yeah.
And especially with a flight in particular, like, that's not cheap.
No,
I know.
Like,
Weren't they from like? Where were they from? East Coast, obviously.
It had to have been.
Somewhere.
She's going to California.
Yeah, no, like a cross-country flight is not going to be cheap. It's like, or like easy to plan at all, and then just suddenly being like, actually, I've decided that you're not going. It's like, well, that's really not your decision to make, is it?
Especially for college. But it wasn't because you're not going. It's more that he wanted the road trip. He wanted that last hurrah. We did miss the very beginning, so I read that in the synopsis.
I've seen this movie once before.
Oh, yeah, I guess you have.
Right after it came out.
Yeah.
And my initial impression was that it was, to use the word again, quirky, but it leaned a little bit too heavily into like the slapstick comedy. But like upon rewatching, I really didn't get that at all. Like it feels much more grounded. And definitely, I mean, it does lean into that like sillier comedy, but it's very aware of what it's doing, and it knows that it's being a little bit silly and just tries to have fun with it.
I think, like on relatability, I do relate with the family. Just how close they want to be together, and like long road trips. Every summer my family takes a long road trip. But I think I relate most with Katie and her relationship with her brother Aaron. Just, I'm an older sister, she was an older sister, and that relationship of him kind of going, well, we're not going to be a pair anymore. Can I like handle things on my own? Am I going to be okay without you? Just broke my heart. Because I remember moving out like, oh, my brother, I have to leave him. But I really enjoyed watching their relationship of just trying to get through life with the two of them. They're clearly best friends. It was just so sweet.
Yeah, I think like this movie was also on my like watch list because I don't have a watch list, but sometimes I do have a watch list, if that makes sense. So I also watched it soon after it came out, and it's just, it very much did remind me of both my relationship with my brothers. I'm also the older sister, so that's something, but also my relationship with my dad. I feel like when, at the very ending, when she was leaving to college, I feel like, except for the fact that they were in California in a really nice school, that was like carbon copy almost kind of my experience, so that's something. Moving on, I'd want to talk about Katie's little details throughout the film.
Yes.
Like her little bitty animations and stuff. I thought there was
I think that's probably one of my favorite parts of it. Very, very Scott Pilgrim. Not that I like Scott Pilgrim, but that's what it reminds me of. Just like the little, it's like.
Also, Turkey Day.
Oh yeah, it's just like I feel like that's how I see the world. Like I'm like when I'm really excited about something, like I feel the little like sparks and stuff, and then like and it's also kind of playing into a little bit of the like technology aspects. Like we're also technology oriented. We got an emoji for everything. Like the one little stick with the 3 little balls on it. Why do we need that emoji? Why do we need it? But there's one for it. Anyways, sorry, rambling about emoji. But yeah, no, I thought it was really cute.
I also like the way how they kept the chroma key, the green screen, as the outline. It's so funny, and I like it.
I love movies that are about like film people, and they'll do something that the everyday person will see, and they maybe won't know what it is. But for the people who know what it is, they're like, oh yeah, like you're playing up the fact that this is like an amateur filmmaker. And like most people probably wouldn't, I could be wrong, but I feel like most people probably wouldn't appreciate that like little green outline around it. But we all know it's like if you're trying to chroma something, you see this green outline around something and you have to go in and painstakingly get the right
the worst part.
text color.
But the best part.
Yeah, just little details. It's like everyone can appreciate this for what it is. Like she is a home artist. She is making all these with like her family's video camera. She even states at one point, she's like,
good.
She is. I'm a little bit jealous. You're doing this at 18. I can't do this.
Talented.
She's very talented.
And from what I can tell, she's doing it all on like VHS tape.
Because she was like, oh, am I taping over like home videos? So she's, I mean, she has to be using tape.
Yeah.
Also, if I had taped over home videos, my parents would have been upset.
Oh, I would be upset.
Oh.
If I taped over my own home videos,
not that we had home
replaceable.
videos, but yeah.
I really like, I almost see the details as like what she would do if she was making this movie. That's what I really enjoyed about it. It's like, or like how she sees the world. I
misremembered. I thought that at the end it was implied that this was her making a movie about this event. But I think what I like, the part that I misremembered is it was like based off a real family that obviously the events of the movie didn't happen, and even a lot of the characters aren't exactly the same. But like, but they base a lot of the character facts on the different actual family members, and they don't really give too much information about that. But I did think that they went into that. It's like, oh yeah, this is Katie's interpretation of like these events and retelling it, and the movie that you're watching is the movie that she made in universe as well. And I really like stuff like that.
As a movie about filmmakers, I think I gotta mention this because this is something I think about when I'm thinking movies. this couldn't be done in live action.
No.
No.
This could not be
Absolutely
done
not.
if it was a
Yeah.
live action movie,
Yeah.
and I will stand by that. I love
Yeah.
animation, and that's another reason I chose it. I also really enjoy that it was by Sony Pictures because they're like the first kind of, not the first, but like mainstream studio to finally break out of the whole carbon copy sort of thing. And so they do fun stuff with the animation, which is this movie, and I just like,
Yeah, it does have a very fun animation style. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it is 2D, but there's like 3D elements to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of the like straight, just 2D like sketch kind of inserted, like with the little
Yes.
what's on the monitor right over there,
Which
for
is
example, like
an example
3D
of her
with
details.
the 2D like kind of
Yeah.
cardboard cutout, if you will. Yeah, I think it's really cute.
I was gonna say that like there are a lot of effects, like something like pop on the screen, and I really love it. It's so cute, and it really eliminate all the scenes, like some part like sparkling like stars.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
It is cute.
I also like that she didn't like acknowledge it. Like it was just kind of
Yeah.
a thing that happened. Part of the reason why I hate Scott Pilgrim because he made it too obvious. Sorry.
you know, my brother
This isn't
actually told me
about
to
Scott
choose that movie for this, and I ignored him.
We can talk about Scott Pilgrim another day. I will tear into it. But this was not that, and it was better.
I think I really like the little animation we were talking about because I think it really personalizes this story to Katie, the main character, and it's almost like, not that it's in her head, but it just makes it very personal that this is what she did, this is what she went through, and I like that it kind of, when she's showing her short films, we can see that same style in the films that she makes, and I just think that's really cool.
I also really like how in this film, and I could be wrong, but I feel like generally speaking, a lot of these family films where there's like internal family drama, and weirdly within the context of them like having to do some important task like save the world, there's always like, I feel like this one driving character who's really pushing the change, but it really feels like both the dad and Katie are both pushing to make that change, whether they know it or not. And like over the course of the movie, they kind of look back and say like, oh no, like we are changing.
Yeah.
And that's one of like, I would say like the biggest theme in this is like, yeah, no, relationships can change and
Which I feel like that's something you see in every like family road trip movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like sometimes it's okay to have a family road trip movie if you include robots.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are the robots.
Those would have been horrible CGI and like normal.
No.
Yeah.
In like
they
live
would've been
action.
awful.
But like no, I love the robots.
Something about their Wiimote bodies really makes them come to life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I felt was like it's gonna be like Iron Man series if it's like in the real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
boom, Iron Man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, they're definitely able to lean into the like silly nature of it, just with the use of animation. I think it's something that studios are doing a lot more recently, and I'm very happy to see it.
Yeah.
I think it really pulls off with this film because they're very, very much of a goofy, silly family.
Oh yeah.
Just their relationship with each other is hilarious, and then how they view the world is funny. So if it was done in real life, it wouldn't
Yeah.
get that same effect.
All right, I have a requested territory here, but it's also something we kind of do a lot on Cinema Sit Down. So, and you've got some hot takes. Anyone?
Icarus
I
does.
have a hot take.
Very
I have
excited.
a hot take.
That is the request.
So again, and I don't even think it's that hot of a take. The voice actor for the son, what was real?
He was a little
He's
man.
like 8 years old, played by like a 40-year-old voice.
Yeah.
I was like, the only thing that's turning me off about this movie is that the voice actor is making my skin crawl.
He was a
Like,
little man.
It was so gross. Like, I don't know. It wasn't even just like nasally or weird.
It was
It
like-
was just gross.
Like,
It just
all right, I'm 8 years old. It
irked me
doesn't.
the
You want
right
to talk
way.
about dinosaurs?
It just was not right. That's my. It's not, again. I don't even think it's that hot of a take.
I
It was
wish I
just
knew.
like-
No, it's accurate.
I was like, when I walked
makes
in
sense.
and I heard him talking, I'm like, oh, that must be the dad or whatever. I turned around and it's little boy.
But I didn't even catch it though.
You didn't catch it?
I
You know,
did.
I thought it was so
You just thought it
insane.
worked for him.
Here's the thing: is I agree. I think that it does work for that character.
It works so well.
I think
but
that if you don't think about the fact that there's a voice actor voicing that character, if you're like able to like completely have cognitive dissonance and just be like, this is the reality that I'm immersing myself in, I don't like the first time I watched it, didn't faze me at all. I was like, yeah, okay, like obviously this is actually voiced by someone, but I don't care who it is. No, this time around it was definitely no.
The problem I couldn't immerse. Every time he spoke, I was
I
like,
just think of him
whiplash.
less
Like, what
as
is
like-
going on?
I think of him
anyone else. Literally anyone else.
I think that voice actor would have worked if the character was like 12, 13, someone like going through like early puberty, and that was kind of like the bit was the fact that their voice was like a little bit off, and they just kept talking like, "Hey guys," like, but they're just like not acknowledging it.
For it to be.
Yeah.
I think it works better when you think of him less as a kid and more of like just the little guy. He likes the dinosaurs. Think of him as just the creature.
When you describe it as your family, I'm like, yeah, no, that's William. I bet that's what he sounded like as a like,
honestly,
not far off.
my brother is 15. He's only just starting to get that voice change, and it kind of sounds like that.
Aww.
No, I think, maybe upon a rewatch, it'll be less like, whoa to me. But that was my hot take. That terrible voice acting choice.
I have one. I don't know if it fits to the hot take, but like I love the way how they use the munchie, like
the dog,
yeah, the
pig,
dog, like dog,
loaf of bread.
pig,
We're not sure.
A loaf of bread. I like the way how they use it. It's so fun, like the munchie, and it goes like,
just
it's so fun.
I think the choice to use the same voice actor for every single robot, but they each sound like their own individual character.
Was it the same?
it the same?
It was the same voice actor. He just kind of changed his voice slightly because they had personality. I think every robot had the same voice actor.
I looked it up. So the two, Eric and Deborah 5000 or whatever it was, were two different, and I think they both were, but I know Fred Armistice and another actor, and I wish I could remember his name. They're both, I believe, two Saturday Night Live SNL. There's a lot of old SNL cast voicing this movie.
Yeah.
Maya Rudolph is the
Rudolph
mom.
is the mom.
I wish I could remember any others off the top of my head, but yeah, there's a whole
I don't
bunch.
usually look at that, which I feel kind of bad about, but I
Also,
don't check voice actors often.
The reason I was like, this sounds familiar, I think I don't know this for sure. It sounds like it's the same voice actor that voiced the Chad guy in Nimona. It sounded like the same.
Oh my god, I think it is.
I think
it does sound the same. I mean, they were both on Netflix.
Familiar. Yeah, no, they were both in Netflix, so it very well could be. That makes more sense. I just clicked onto that. I'm like,
I made the connection fairly early on in looking at the list that Katie's voice actor is the same voice actor, Abby Jacobson, who's the Princess Tiabini in Disenchantment. And the second that I made that connection, I was like, oh, she is perfect for this role. She's just, third time I'm saying it, just a little quirky. She's not quite comfortable in her own shoes, but like that's weirdly her biggest strength for like every character. And she kills it for the role of Katie.
I'm gonna agree with you on that, solely because I haven't seen Disenchantment. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you're all good.
speaking of shoes, character design, flawless.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
please.
Yes on the shoe. I loved it. I'm gonna be doing it to my own shoes. I actually, I think, I don't know if I still have them. I had a pair of Converse like that in middle school or high school that I like wrote all over and did things like that. So no, the character design nailed it. The little scribbles on her hand, I may have missed if there was like context to it, but I noticed that they were there.
I think it was just like, person who can't think straight writing down notes on her hands. I loved her little lightning bolt earrings. I loved her pins. I love the mom's like dangly earrings and her glasses.
Yes, and speaking of pins, a subtly queer character.
Yes.
We gotta love that.
It's not in your face and I love it.
Yeah.
In your face in a bad way.
So, to all the what is it? It's not a good word. I don't know what I was gonna say. Subtly queer character. That's it. To anyone who says that we're shoving it in your face,
We love Katie.
we're not. Anyways.
Yeah.
I also think that, and not to go back to too much of the conversation, but the plot point where we realize that the dad essentially gave up his dream for his daughter, and saying it's like, where the mom's like, oh well, this must be hard, and he's like, no, actually it's really easy because I get to leave this part of my life behind and go into the new one, and then having that be the turning point for Katie, realizing it's like, I have done everything that I can. We just both need to like kind of try and get on the same page, and like again, weirdly they say it in the movie, like see from where the other person is coming from, and the second that they do that, it literally allows them to save the world, and I think that's just such a neat detail.
Yeah. Okay, so we gotta wrap it up. So, final ratings, what do you guys have?
Ready? 10.
10?
10 out of 10. So good, so funny. It was a great watch. I loved it.
Same here, 10. It was really good. I wasn't really I was tired at the beginning of the movie, but I didn't feel tired at all while watching the movie. It was a masterpiece. I loved it. 10.
I'll let you guys go because I'm gonna do the outro as well.
I don't know if I've ever done this on Cinema Sitdown before, but I'm also gonna do a 10. I love this movie. I'm a sucker for good animated family movies.
I feel like I'm ruining the chain. I was gonna give it a 9, but I'll give it a 10. I was redacting.
You don't have to succumb to
I
peer
was
pressure.
redacting
It's okay.
1 point for the voice actor thing because
That
literally
is
just
understandable.
fine with anyone else.
It's okay. It's okay.
It was a little bit cheesy for my taste.
You're rating it a
but
10, but it's a
not
9
in
without the curve.
10 with an asterisk.
Yeah.
curve.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Weighted.
I don't usually give out 10s and stuff, but I was originally going to do a lower. Here's the thing, but as I was watching it, I'm thinking about this is like my 4th or 5th time watching it, and I'm enjoying myself so much. It is a 10 on my book.
Yeah.
So there we go. A perfect movie with an asterisk.
With an asterisk.
From Cinema
yeah.
Sitdown. So go
Oh
check
my
it out. It's on
gosh.
Netflix. It's easy to get. We love it. We love all you. Goodbye. I can't believe you guys gave it all 10. I was not expecting
Everest
that.
10.
The robots put that camera there.